The September event just ended and the new iPhones are just amazing. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. All the rumors were true. The body of Pro iPhones is finally made of titanium and it looks amazing. There are 4 colors to choose from: black, white, blue, and natural titanium. The phones have definitely improved. They're lighter and more durable than before. The lightest Pro iPhones yet. The weight reduction is a game changer for me. It's so significant that I'm seriously considering making the jump to the Pro Max this year. The lighter weight just makes it so much easier to hold for longer periods, whether you are texting or watching videos, but the improvements don't stop at just the weight. The overall design and ergonomics have seen some tweaks as well. The flat sides are still there, which is great because they give the phone a nice grip. What's new though are the more rounded edges. They seem to make the phone even more comfortable to hold, especially during those long binge watching sessions. And the display glass is also rounded to its edges, which also contributes to better ergonomics and more finger-friendly gestures. As for the display itself, that's where we see the second most noticeable difference. The edges are now razor thin. It's like going from the Apple Watch 6 to 7. The difference is massive. The bezels have been slimmed down to the point where they are almost invisible. I can't overstate how much this changes the look and feel of the phone. However, the display size remains the same. For the 15 Pro, we're looking at a 6.1-inch screen, and for the 15 Pro Max, 6.7-inch display. But the phones themselves got slightly smaller, which is always welcomed. As for the brightness, it stayed the same, 2000 nits. That's plenty bright for any situation, but there's a caveat. The iPhone 14 Pro had a tendency to heat up when you crank the brightness to the max, forcing the phone to automatically dim the screen. This was a frequent issue and I'm really hoping that Apple has addressed this in the new Pro models. Also, the Pro Motion is still there, same good old 120 Hz. No one was really expecting an increase in the refresh rate, and honestly, 120 Hz is more than adequate for smooth visuals. As for the dynamic island, it hasn't changed much in size. However, with the newly slimmed down bezels, it does stick out a bit more than before. It's a minor issue, and I suspect it's something most of us will get used to pretty quickly. If the display of the 14 Pro is anything to go by, then the new displays will be just as amazing. But this new look also brought 2 more new things: a new action button and the Type-C port. The action button is a replacement for the old mute switch, but it's way more versatile. This single button can do a lot of things: switch to silent mode, open the camera, turn on the flashlight, activate a shortcut, enable a focus mode, and even begin a voice memo. The list goes on, and it's a feature that adds a lot of functionality to the phone. I'm really pumped to see all the different things it can do. And the Type-C, just as we expected, the Pro iPhones got USB 3.0 Type-C, which allows for data transfer of up to 10 GBs per second. Now you can use the same cable for the iPad, MacBook, and finally AirPods. And you can record videos straight to the external storage device thanks to this Type-C. So great job, Apple. Aside from fancy new visuals, there are some big upgrades done to the cameras. In the iPhone 15 Pro, the changes are more on the subtle side, but they're still important. However, when you look at the 15 Pro Max, the camera upgrades are nothing short of massive. The resolution of the main camera is still 48 megapixel on both, but the sensor is better. It has a better aperture and lets in more light. This is a big deal because it means you will get clearer, more vibrant photos in a variety of lighting conditions. This sensor can do 2 important things: shoot in 24 megapixels, combining high level of detail and small file size, and shooting in 3 focal lengths. We can choose between 24, 28, and 35 millimeters. This can be a game changer for photographers. I can't wait to try them all out. The ultra-wide camera on both phones is also better than in last year's iPhones. It absorbs more light and should give noticeably better low-light photos. The zoom cameras are where you will see the most difference between the iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max. On the 15 Pro, the zoom camera still offers 3 times magnification and comes with a 12 megapixel sensor. This sensor has been improved particularly for better performance in low-light conditions. There's also a 2 times zoom option, which works pretty much the same as it did on the iPhone 14 Pro. The Pro Max introduces a new 5 times periscope microscopic lens, and the sample shots Apple showed us were jaw-dropping. The fact that Apple managed to squeeze a huge lens into such a small body is nothing but impressive. This is a major step in camera technology for iPhones and puts them on an even playing field with top-tier Android phones. Of course, all cameras use updated image processing algorithms that noticeably improve the quality of photos. New photonic engine should make low-light shots even better than before, and all lenses now have anti-reflective coating, which should solve the flaring problem. So what does all this mean? Well, your photos are going to look better, plain and simple. Whether you are capturing the sunset or taking pictures at dimly lit dinner, these camera improvements are going to make a difference. The 15 Pro offers a solid upgrade in camera performance, but if you're really into photography, the 15 Pro Max seems to be the way to go with its more dramatic improvements. And videos. Here, the improvements aren't huge, but still important. Now, all cameras can record ProRes at 4K 60. Also, the cameras support log recording and ACES codec, which should make it perfect for filmmakers, cinematographers. Unfortunately, we didn't get cinematic at 4K 60 or action mode at 4K, but still, what we got is already enough. And all that is still not everything new. The Pro iPhones have a new 3nm A17 Pro chip, which is even more powerful than what we had before. It features a 6-core CPU and a 6-core GPU, which is one GPU core more than the A16. CPU cores are 10% faster, while GPU cores are 20% faster. GPU also supports ray tracing. A17 Pro is so powerful that it can run Resident Evil 4 Remake natively, and it's coming to iPhone along with The Division and Star Rail. These are super demanding games, and I'm sure they will show the full power of the A17 Pro. The chip also has improved dedicated engines for ProRes, display, and so on. Apple said nothing about RAM, but all the leaks were right so far, so it's safe to assume that the new iPhones have 8 gigs of RAM. The new Pro iPhones also have an improved U2 chip, which now gives much more precise readings, consumes less energy, and is overall better. On this connectivity part, Apple has also improved the Wi-Fi to 6E, which offers more bandwidth, providing faster connectivity speeds, lower latency, and increased capacity. It's not a type of improvement that everyone will notice, but it's still nice to have. Unfortunately, there are no changes to the batteries. Both the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max have the same battery life as the 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max respectively. Turns out the leaks of bigger batteries were wrong. But probably the weirdest change is the price, because the new iPhone 15 Pro with 128 gigs of memory starts at the same $999, and the 15 Pro Max saw a price jump $100 more than 14 Pro Max, starting at $1199 with 256 gigs of base storage. I think this pricing policy is smart, and the phones finally cost exactly what they are worth. Overall, I can confidently say that this year's Pro iPhones are finally giving us something new, something that's actually worth upgrading. Better design, display, materials, cameras, improved performance. The list goes on and on. Probably you won't agree with me on this, but these phones might actually be worth the money. What do you think? Leave your comments down below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.